Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure for GE to be one of the sponsors of this workshop. Oh. And it's a pleasure for me to be here with you also. I will do a small talk about GE solutions for cell therapy. I would like to present an overview of our solutions, and I will go deeper, not so deep, but deeper in the bioreactor, okay? First, I would like to give you an overview of the GE Healthcare Life Science. You know that General Electric is one of the biggest companies in the world, and we have several segments inside General Electric, and one of them is healthcare. And one business unit inside healthcare is life science, where we are right now. And we have 6 business units inside life science. The first one is genomic and cellular research, that you are very familiar with because you deal with our products in everyday lab. We have products for cell analysis, like microscopes for high and super resolution, high content analysis. We have solutions for filtration, protein purification, sample preparation. And we have another business that is bioprocess. This business is directed to the production of biopharmaceutical. And we have products for cell culture, chromatography, process development, single-use systems where the big bioreactors are inside, like the bioreactor that Dr. Bruce showed earlier this morning. The other business is cell therapy, where we will talk about. The other one is services and core imaging, where we have contrast agents for diagnostic imaging. So, why GE is inside the cell therapy? We have more than a decade of investments in the cell therapy technologies. Everything started with GE Ventures that saw in the cell therapy market opportunity of growth, to grow the business of General Electric. And then GE decided to acquire some technologies like wave systems. That is the first acquired to beginning the cell therapy business, and then the density gradient media. After that, we develop partnerships with some collaborators like CCRM in Canada and CRBMG in Shanghai. After that, we expand the portfolio by developing and acquire new technologies like BioSafe 2 years ago, and this year GE acquired Asymptote. And the investment in this area didn't stop. We will continue to invest in this area. And GE mission in cell therapy is helping customers to deliver the promise of cell therapy. And the goal is to provide an ecosystem of support. So we want to offer the end-to-end workflow for you. So we have the technologies, we have the expertise inside GE, and we have the services to support the technologies. And GE understands the challenge that you have in cell therapy. So we understand that you have a challenge with the risk of cell contamination, you have the risk of cell loss. So you have the challenge to optimize the process, right? And it's because of this that GE invests in this area, because of our knowledge in bioprocess. So we can support you in cell expansion because we have this knowledge coming for bioprocess. We know that a big challenge is the cost, especially for us here in Latin America. And the time, that's not a challenge only for people that are in the cell therapy, but everybody nowadays, no? And how can GE help minimize risk at each step? First of all, security in supply chain. So we guarantee the supply chain when you are our customers. We have automated solutions to minimize the risk of contamination. We have a closed process environment. This reduces the manual interaction in the process, so you decrease the risk of contamination also. And we have scientific expertise to help you find solutions that address the complexity of cell processing. Here is the workflow for cell therapy. We have products and equipment since apheresis until reformulation, and we have several equipments from Asymptote, that is the company that GE acquired this year. We have the bioreactor, the Zuri cell expansion system, and we have solutions for cell separation, cell washing, harvesting, that comes from BioSafe, the company that GE acquired some years ago. We have medium and interleukinas also. I will show you a small video showing this workflow. If you have questions about BioSafe products, I have a peer here that can answer you these questions, okay? I'm not a product specialist for BioSafe. I'm only for the Zuri W25. That's our bioreactor. The Zuri is composed by a rocker with an internal controller, a pump to make the feed and harvest, a gas mixer, and pH and DO control that's done by the CBCU. And all of the system is controlled by Unicorn software. that integrates the units, and you can make the control remotely. The concept was explained early this morning, but you know that are waves that are formed inside the cell bag, and this is very gentle, and this movement makes the oxygen mix with the media. One cell bag is capable to generate the same amount of cells as 100 flasks. And the Zuri was designed for cell therapy manufacturing because it's scalable, so you can start from a small amount of media and then scale up to 1 liter or 5 liters. The quantity of medium that you need for patients. This is single use because the cell bags are disposable, so you don't need to validate the bioreactor before another use. It's closed, so you don't have manual intervention. You don't need to open the bag to change the media. You can make perfusion, so the feed and the harvest are automated. And the system is automated, so the protocols can be preset and then you left to run, okay? Here is a graph showing the difference in the total viable cells comparing the static culture here and the bioreactors. Here is the small bioreactor, the old wave 210 that we call now Zuri W5, and the Zuri W25 is the same, the amount that we have the viable cells. And here is the difference when we make a batch culture, as Amanda showed you in her presentation. In the batch culture, we have increasing the metabolites and a decreasing nutrients, and cell density decrease as well because you don't have nutrients for the amount of the cells because it's a very high density. And in the perfusion culture, you have the metabolites in a level that is considered okay for the culture. The nutrients you maintain in a same level during the culture, and the cell density increase with the time passes. So our vision inside GE is to significantly advance the manufacture and commercialization of cell therapies and improve clinical outcomes for patients, because in the end of the day, every cell matters. Thank you.